Alright, Shalom. Shalom. Kala la yamla ya hawaba shame o shaiba shamaka kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace and blessings to the elect. Alright, this here is Amma One from the Great Millstone Camp in Trinidad. And coming back again to do another lesson. Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Basham Yahushai, of course. Hopefully it edifying. And the name of this lesson is basically I'm going to talk. It won't be no long lesson, but I'm going to talk about the microchip and the fact that the RFID microchip is the mark of the beast, and we in that time right now. Alright, we in that time right now. And I will read the book of Daniel, chapter 12, and verse 4. It says, "But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased." Alright? Many go and run back and forth, and knowledge going to be increased. This going into the era that we would be living in the last days. We would be living in an era when knowledge is increased. Dealing with what technology, think about it. What have information at we fingertips now? The internet, technology, the smartphones, your computers, the information superhighway, right? This is going to be taking place where in the time of the end. Technology. And as technology grows and grows, and people get more and more in tune with technology, the next big thing will be to bring about the newest form of money, which would be the way of the RFID microchip, which is the mark of the beast that the Bible speaks about in Revelation, because it just say many go and run to and fro, and what? Knowledge shall be increased. Alright? This dealing with your technology. Digital currency is the thing of the future. Cashless society is the thing of the future. This is not a fiction. This is not some speculation that people making up. Alright? Look at it secularly and take your head out your ass and stop talking that and saying that is the mark of the beast is some doctrine of Christianity, or a so-called white woman hugging up a so-called Negro man after she killed his brother. Stop saying that is the mark of the beast. But look at things secularly. Look at things, from a basis of understanding. If you could apply your heart to know that and see that as we are here in 2019 AD, Anno Domini, the year of our Lord, as we in this year, we in this time period, that there was from the year 1700, alright, 1800s, 1900s, from the 1900s to the year 2000, there was a giant leap in technology and the way the world used to run within 100 years period. Okay? And it's not far-fetched that if we should go further, if society should continue, let me say, within the next, Lord forbid, 4 years, Lord forbid, 5 years, but let's just say that it should go on that long, people would have, it will be a normal thing for the society for people to be microchipped when in their hand or in their foreheads or wherever, and using it as a form of buying and selling. That will not be that far-fetched, judging how the world has changed drastically within the last 100 years. Because within the past 300 years, you had no motor cars 300 years ago, really. You had horses, you had carriages. Now we have motor cars that running like boy, at the speed of light, some of them, boy. Getting you from one place to the next place in a half an hour, which would have take you some days to go back then. Many shall run to and fro. Knowledge shall be increased. Knowledge has been increased in these last days according to the scripture. And the newest thing that they will implement and make it the hottest thing on the market is this RFID microchip, because the ultimate goal is to have everybody chipped. Alright? That is the ultimate goal. I'm gonna play this video here. I just type up cashless society. That is just what I ain't seen nothing else beside that. Look, 2 years ago, what China's nearly cashless society looks like. I'm gonna play this
Days
one.
of overstuffed wallets in your back pocket or purse might soon come to an end. By 2020,
Right.
Mobile wallets on our smartphones are expected to surpass the use of credit and debit cards in the U.S. That has already happened in China. Ben Tracy is in Beijing to show us what a nearly cashless society actually looks like. Ben, good morning.
Good morning. So when I moved here to China a couple of months ago, I kept getting funny looks every time I would pull cash out of my wallet to pay for things. And then I got one of these. It's a code on my phone, and now I can basically buy anything here in China. When you pay for something, how do you pay for it?
Mobile phone.
On the streets of Beijing, cash is definitely not king. What do you think of people who use cash to pay for things? That's rare and weird, he says. Only the elderly and people who don't know how to use a phone pay cash. This woman says, I rarely take my wallet when I go out, just my phone. That's because those phones can buy just about anything, from clothes in the store to steamed buns on the street. They're used to pay for bike rides and bus rides, rent and utility bills. When was the last time you used cash? A month ago? Wow, that's a long time. WeChat and Alipay dominate China's mobile market, and payments on their platforms totaled more than $5.5 trillion last year, a 200% jump from the year before, and nearly 50 times more than the value of mobile payments in the U.S. One of the big reasons mobile payments have caught on so quickly here in China is because of what most people here don't have in their wallets: credit cards. They basically went from a cash-based society to a cashless one and skipped the step in between.
China has leapfrogged the U.S. into...
That is what he say. The step in between. Because it's our plan. Listen to what he just said. He said China skipped the step in between because it was a building process, a stepping stone to condition the minds of the people to ultimately receive the RFID microchip. This is not a joke, it's not a game. It's not a joke, it's not a game. It's actually going on be implemented. This microchip will be implemented in our lifetime. And it will be implemented in a harsh way. Because not everybody will be for it. Go and have resistance. The ones who put up resistance will have to suffer consequences, whether it is the die, whether it is to be tortured, that will be off the grid. Because the grid go be digital currency, and the biggest form of digital currency is how about if we do use phones? How about if we put a microchip in here which have the same capability of doing what the phone could do, and you use your phone for other things instead of pulling out your phone ever? Well, that is such a hassle, to have your phone always walking, this big phone in your hand, or you had to pull it out every time you had to do something. How about if it is we just use we hand? We just swipe we hand and we go about the business. How about that? Amazon have a store. You just walk in the store and walk out, and you don't pay, you don't pull out no money for nothing. You don't know cash registers. Just walk in and walk out. Take what you had to get and walk out, because there's so much of scanners in the store that you are already scanned, and whatever money you have in your phone or whatever, on your credit card or whatever, they just take it out. This is what the world coming to. And those of you who can't see it, most I just blind you, we just paid off. Point blank period. I'm gonna play this video again.
Going to a cashless society.
Andy Mock is an economist in Beijing. He says China's cashless revolution has happened in just 3 years, largely thanks to these things called QR codes. You simply scan them with your phone to pay. Nearly every business and person has one. From the farmer's market to the musician on the street playing for a mobile tip. You can give a homeless person money with your phone. You would never see that in the U.S.
All you have to do is scan that code to transfer money. And it really is ubiquitous in China. From the largest cities, the fanciest hotels, to the most humble street side shacks will all use QR codes.
The Chinese are comfortable doing everything on their phones, while in the U.S., credit cards and online shopping via personal computers still rule.
These kinds of legacy technologies make any adoption of newer generations of technologies much more slower. So in this sense, I think the U.S. has a little bit of catching up to do.
A recent survey found that 40% of Chinese people carry less than $15 on them, but they would never dream of leaving home without this. As one guy told me on the street, you can't achieve anything without your phone. Gail?
That guy on the street was very correct. Thank you, Ben Tracy. Didn't you love how he opened the piece? When I moved to China a couple months ago, that sounded so cool. Thank you.
Look at this. What does a cashless? How cash is becoming a thing of the past? Is a cashless society? What does cashless society mean? Teaching about money in a cashless society. Are we ready for a cashless society? You feel this is by coincidence? It's not by no coincidence by them doing that. Them ready for it. They are ready for it. So when you see the scripture talking about in the book of Revelation chapter 13 and verse 16, I read from verse 15, and it says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast. The image of the beast is the ancient Roman Empire. The Edomites brought it back to life when they came back to power during the Renaissance period. key name is Cristobal Colon or Christopher Columbus. During that time is when they started to build back the empire that they lost 1,000 years prior to that, which it fell to so-called Negroes, which were Israelites, which started to rule over there in Eastern Europe, alright, which would later be known in history as the Byzantine Empire. Okay? 1,000 years later, life was brought back to the image of the beast which was before the Byzantine Empire, which was the Roman Empire. That was the beast that was before. Life was brought back onto it because the beast had a deadly wound which was healed, and he had power to give life. Why did he have power? Because the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Job chapter 9 and verse 24. So he had power to give life unto the image of the beast. Rome came back to life, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Alright? When you don't conform to this devil, he rules with the sword. Okay? You don't conform to him, he'll destroy your ass. It says, and because it all, this beast would eventually grow and grow and grow to become a superpower. America, most powerful country in the world. They celebrate Christopher Columbus Day. Columbus Day. They celebrate that day because that is when they started to come back into power. So they give him a round of applause every year and acknowledge him for what he did for them. Because it's through him, they believe, that they are where they is today. One of the founding fathers of the US. Although he never set foot in the US, but he discovered, as they say, the Western Hemisphere, which it already had people here. Which the people here were Israelites, by the way. And they're still here, which they are Israelites. The so-called Latinos, the so-called Native American Indians, they are of the 12 tribes of Israel, but they are of the northern kingdom, which is the 10 tribes of Israel that left the land of Israel, alright, or rather were taken captive from the land of Israel by the king Shalmaneser V, which Hosea was the king over the land, over the Israelites at the time, and they were brought into the land of Assyria, and from the land of Assyria they left and came over here to the Western Hemisphere, which we know today as the Americas, South, Central, and North. And Christopher Columbus knew this and came here and lied and said he discovered it, but you know it had people here because he had 2 Hebrew interpreters or more, and these Americans today give him credit for that because what he did was mass murder on the Israelites. But they give him credit because they believe through him they are where they are today. Through him and other so-called founding fathers, they are where they are today, meaning the most powerful nation on earth. Alright? Come back in the power seat. It says, and he caused it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Because this beast would eventually become so great that it would have the world eaten out of its hands. So that anytime it decides to close its hands, the world will know what to do. And that is how America functions right now. That is why he could cause all, everybody. Not every single human, but whether you're rich or you're poor, whether you're free or you're bond, whether you're male, oh, no, not male, whether you're great or you're small, you will, or whether you're man or you're woman, if it's not part of the elect, when this devil decide to close his hands and not feed everybody again and implement his microchip, which is the mark of the beast, people go and bug the fuck up. Because he get that power. He have that power. Verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell, buying and selling. How about we no longer use credit cards? How about we use a microchip? How about we no longer pull out with phones to pay for stuff? Because as the commentator did say, the news reporter said, China ditched the credit card and just went straight to phones. They left out the middle stepping stone in the middle. Because that was all a conditioning to the mind. And you see, America is somewhat resistant to it, so that way they kind of had to step it in. These Chinese don't know what the fuck going on. Nevertheless, it says, and that no man might buy or sell, buying and selling have to deal with this microchip. Doesn't it? If you look it up, buying and selling, doesn't the microchip use buying and selling? Doesn't people use buying and selling? Doesn't people buy and sell with this microchip? Yes, they do. They do. Yes, no. See, if either had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast. For it is the number of a man, and his number is 600, 66, and that is his soul vibration that he pushes on the earth. Alright? Carnality. Base Edomite witchcraft. Okay? Kai stigma. And ultimately a stigma sticks on you. That is this chip. So yes, the chip is a part of the scriptures, and it is recorded in Revelation chapter 13. Basically, from Revelation chapter 13 is the only place that you could find anything concerning this microchip first in the book of Revelation. Because when you read Revelation chapter 13, it goes directly into the Edomite kingdom. That is what it goes into. And this is where it speaks about a mark. Because in the end, this is when knowledge increased, this is what they're going to use their knowledge to do. Put a microchip in you. Great or small, bond or free, alright, rich or poor, boy or girl. When this devil decides to collapse his economy, and you don't have a basham on your side, and you don't know what the mark of the beast is, you will take that chip and then you will be destroyed. Because the Most High say in Revelation chapter 14 and verse 9 says, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. Time you take that chip, you will die. Okay? So with that, I will give all praises to Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Rakha Kodash, double honors to the apostles. Hopefully you've been edified. Shalom.